I spent $50,000 on courses, mentorships, coaches in the last 3 years. And I bought a 997 course, I bought a 1.5K course, I bought a 12K course, 8K course, paid for one-to-one coaching, courses, mentorships, you name it. I've done it all. And out of all of those programs, mentorships that I bought, only one changed my life. And it wasn't the most expensive program that I ever bought. So if you're a coach or you're an entrepreneur trying to scale your online business and you're looking to invest into a mentorship program, then you have to watch this video first, because I'm going to save you all the mistakes that I made throughout buying mentorships and courses. Because think about it, the online education space is more crowded and saturated than ever. Everyone's trying to start their online coaching program. Everyone's trying to do mentorships, info, products, and it's just crazy. There are more people just making bold promises or big claims and crazy guarantees inside of the market. So I'm going to share with you the 3 biggest lessons I learned after spending $50K on courses, mentorships, and programs. So you know exactly what to look for and you know what to avoid so that you don't get scammed and you invest your money into the right mentor. So you probably think that spending more money equals getting more value, right? So you probably have this belief, same me, I thought that spending more money on a coaching program will actually give me more value throughout my business and my situation so that I can actually scale my business. But it's actually the wrong belief, and I'm going to tell you why. So let me tell you a story real quick. I bought a 997 course when I first started entrepreneurship. I watched a few modules, and that person who was selling the course actually changed my life in terms of showing me what's possible. So I bought it, and I was working as a 2K per month cashier back then in Singapore, right? So I thought I needed the higher tier version. I thought I needed the inner circle, and I watched a few of the modules and I didn't really implement anything, but I thought I needed the inner circle or the higher ticket version so that I can actually get more of the information and value. So I asked my grandma for money, and I'm very thankful and grateful for her to actually give me the money to invest in myself. And she was skeptical at first, right? Of course, any other grandma or parent will be skeptical about all of this. But I bought the 5K mentorship program from the same exact guy. And I'm not going to name names here, but I bought the higher tier course for 5K. So I basically spent around 6K at this point. Then I saw another guy selling SMMA, and at that point of time, because Iman Gaji was blowing up, he was promoting SMMA back then, agency and stuff like that. So I bought this guy's 1.5K course. He sold me in the DMs. And same thing, I watched a few modules, I didn't really implement anything, and I just went on with it. So I procrastinated for 3 months and I still didn't do anything. But then after that, I saw this guy just doing the same exact thing, showing day in the lives of his entire life, living in a high-rise apartment, just really doing really well for himself, right? He was doing around 30 to 40K at the point of time. And I bought his 2K program. And this is the one that actually changed my entire life in terms of business. Because within 2 months of joining, I signed my first client. And after I signed my first client, within 2 weeks, I made 15K. That course alone changed my entire life. And I'm sure it changed a lot of people's life too. I'm sure if you're watching this and you know who I'm talking about, you know. So I helped another client scale from 20K to 60K within less than 2 months. So the 2K program really helped me a lot in terms of helping me understand business fundamentals, and also the community was insane. It just changed my life basically, and it outperformed every other coaching program or course that I ever bought in terms of the community, in terms of how much they cared about my success and the accountability they had on it. So it's not about the guru selling the course, it's not about the coaching programs, it's not about the courses and stuff like that. It's about what you get out of that certain course or mentorship, right? And you probably don't know, right? You don't know which one to actually get because you don't see the processes behind what they are selling inside of the mentorship or coaching program. So everyone's showing social proof right now. Everyone's saying, oh, I scaled this guy from 0 to whatever K per month. And it's not because the information was better. The community was extremely small, actually. It was a very small tight group when I first joined, but the support was actually insane. There weren't even one-to-one calls, but the group calls made me feel I belonged. The group calls made me feel I actually had a lot of support. There was a lot of accountability. The mentors that I had that I paid for 2K, they really cared about my success. They will be mad for me not taking action, and they will make me think about why I'm not taking action compared to all of the other courses that I bought beforehand, before the 2K course, right? So if you're looking to invest into the program, just don't look at the price point. It's not about the price point at all. More expensive doesn't mean you're getting more value. Sometimes you just need someone to keep you accountable and also snap you out of your comfort zone and your situation, and you really need that, right, to get to the next level. So sometimes it's not about you being around high level entrepreneurs or you buying a course from someone who has made millions of dollars. Sometimes you just need a community. Sometimes you just need a support system, accountability system where you have people that are doing the same things as you around your same level, and you have someone as a mentor to actually is just a few steps ahead to actually just keep you accountable and tell you the simple things, right? And really invest in people that actually care about your success, not just people who flex online in Lamborghinis or penthouses and stuff like that, and they just don't really care about your success, right? It's about the content that they put out first in terms of whether they care about you and whether they care about their students rather than all the status, all the flexing, and all of that content, right? It's not about the lifestyle, it's about the value that they give out and whether they actually care about people. Which brings us to the second lesson, which is most courses sell you a system, but they honestly just give you a template. And here's what I mean. Because when I was buying all these programs and all these courses, the sales pages would say you'll get all these systems done for you, done with you, all these SOPs, and yeah, it's just marketing, right? As a marketer myself, I write all these pages. I write all the copy for all these landing pages and all these stuff. So I know right now, but back then I didn't know. So I actually believe that. I believe that someone will actually sit down with me, give me the SOPs, give me the accountability, the one-to-one coaching, and all of that stuff. But what I actually got was generic modules and not in-depth SOPs, generic SOPs, templates that's applicable to everyone, and we have to make it our own. And it's not even in depth, and that's not actually the point. It's about actually just giving generic stuff to everyone, and sometimes they will even gatekeep the things that they are using inside of their businesses. And also when I had in-depth questions, they appointed me to a CSM inside of the community, inside of the program, to answer those questions. And the answers that I got out of the CSMs were not even applicable for my situation. They were following a step-by-step system for every single person inside of the program, and it's not tailored to my situation. It's not what is useful for my situation. So they will give me a script, and they promised me they will give me 3 YouTube thumbnails and titles and scripts for my first 3 YouTube videos. So we invested around 12K for that program. They promised that, the closer promised that on the sales call. And when I asked the CSMs, where's the YouTube scripts or where's the thumbnails and the titles, they gave me generic stuff that they used in Poppy AI, right? So if you don't know what Poppy is, go search it up. They are one of the best companies in terms of content creation. And when I looked at those scripts, it wasn't in my client's voice. It wasn't in my client's exact situation or what he was selling. It was just so generic. It was the most generic thing ever. And I'm not the type of person to blame other people for my success, but it's just crazy to me because I can create that. I'm quite a systems automations guy. I'm quite into AI, so I have Poppy AI and I use Poppy and I use AI for my clients as well. And I care about my clients a lot. So I use brand voices, I use everything so that I can make it tailored to their situations, right? But they just came up with some Poppy AI slot to give me to fulfill their promise. And this is what I get after paying 12K for a mentorship program with one-to-one calls with the CSM. And I remember in one of the other programs that I bought, I had a very specific question in terms of my client's offer. So I asked the question, and the response I got was to just follow the modules, follow the videos. And that's it. I just paid a lot of money to just get an answer to follow the modules and follow the videos, right? But I actually watched the modules, I actually watched the videos, and that's all I got. So it hit me because a lot of these people that want to scale their online businesses, they just hire CSMs just to outsource whatever stuff they have in terms of client fulfillment. And I get it. It's part of the game. If you want to scale, your time is very valuable with one-to-ones, and you want to save that for the people who actually pay you more money in terms of your time. So I get the game. I'm not blaming them. But it's just that when you outsource stuff to your CSMs, right? First of all, you need to hire good CSMs. If they don't know what they're doing in terms of content creation, whatever you sell, gym, fitness stuff, or whatever you sell, right? Whatever mentorships that you sell, they're just not going to do a great job. They're just not going to do the best thing for the client because they don't know anything, right? So when you hire CSMs, first of all, it's about the cultural fit, right? Are they caring about people? Are they actually wanting to do this based on for the money, or do they want to do this for both the money and also the experience and also caring about other people's success? Because a cultural fit is a trait or a characteristic is a very hard thing to learn, right? It's not ingrained for everyone. It's not something that you can learn tomorrow, right? And it's not copywriting where you can learn it through AI or something. That it's not a very fast skill to learn. You need to cultivate that characteristic, that trait over time. And it's also for skill, but you get what I'm saying. So when you hire CSMs, they need to know what they are doing first, and they also need to be a cultural fit. So if you hire a CSM and these two things are not a match for your company and they don't understand your values and they just give generic advice to clients, how are you gonna keep your clients happy? How are you gonna help your clients get results, right? If they have generic advice, if they have generic answers, they can't scale, right? They can't just have a generic answer and just go with it. They still have questions in their head, right? And it's not about just answering all of their questions and spoon feeding them with all of their questions too. It's about helping them to think. It's about helping them to become a better entrepreneur, right? It's not about just giving them the answers and going ahead with it. It's about helping them becoming better people and thinking and brainstorming, right? So they paid you, they invested in you, not for a shitty CSM that you outsource so that you can, just make more money. It's not about that. It goes a very long way. Long-term play or long-term thinking is involved here. When you hire a CSM, they need to understand your company values. They need to understand who they are helping and whether they have the skill set to even help your clients as well, right? So they need to have the track record. And a lot of these gurus or people that sell you programs just don't actually care about your success. And I faced it firsthand. And I paid a lot of money to actually face this firsthand. And I'm just, what can I do? I just bought into the marketing. So they care about selling the next cohort. They just don't really think about helping you to scale and helping as many of their clients scale and get results. And their business model is just, it's not built around transformation. It's built around revenue, right? Because the more clients they get, and they have a few testimonials here and there that they use, and they use that to scale even more and get more people into the program, and it's just not gonna be sustainable for them, but it's not gonna be a good investment for you either. So that's the second lesson. Most of these courses or mentorships that charge you either one, maybe $500 to $3,000 are just trash, to be fair. And it just saddens me because the industry has become so bad in a sense where people don't actually care about people's success. They just care about themselves and they care about the revenue that they make. And it just makes me extremely pissed off because I actually do care about people. And I'm just seeing all these people just not care about their clients, not care about their results. And I've bought into so many different people's mentorship programs. And the modules sometimes are good, sometimes are bad, but it's just not the best that is applicable for my situation. And I can't talk to someone who will actually give me specific information tailored to my specific business. So that's lesson number 2. And now let's go into lesson 3, because even knowing all of this right now and all of the money that I spent, there's one lesson that I wish someone would tell me before I even spent a single dollar. And this is the one that would save me a lot of money. So lesson number 3 is that you don't need more information. You just need implementation. And I'm saving the best for last, because looking back at my journey when I bought my first course in July 2023, I didn't get my first client until October 2023. So that's 3 whole months of not doing anything. And in those 3 whole months, I bought 3 different programs. I was jumping from copywriting to SMMA, from SMMA to another copywriting course, to another sales course, to everything that you can think of, right? And I was just not implementing anything because I thought I needed to learn, I needed to consume, I needed to buy more courses, and I was addicted to shiny object syndrome, right? And I didn't know what shiny object syndrome was back then until the mentor that I paid $2,000 for told me what it was, and it clicked for me because I was just addicted to buying so many different programs, and I was just looking to consume, looking to learn a lot of things at once. And the moment everything changed wasn't when I found more information. It was when I actually did the work. So the community that held me accountable, the $2,000 program that I actually bought, they kept me accountable. And they will ask me questions. What will you actually do in the next 6 months if you don't take any action? What will your mom think? Why are you procrastinating? What are you procrastinating about? Right? And they would ask me these questions, and it would get me thinking. And I would say, oh, like, I'm scared of doing outreach, and I was scared of putting myself out there. And they would just tell me straight up, I'm a pussy, right? And I took it, right? And it lit a fire under my ass because I was being such a pussy, and everyone in there was actually doing outreach and I wasn't. So I actually thought about that situation, and it let me thinking. So if I don't do anything and I just consume the fuck ton of information for the next 6 months, what would happen? And my mom would be disappointed in me. My grandma would be disappointed in me. The people would surpass me in every single direction possible, and they will make more money. And that led me thinking, like, I can't do this anymore. I can't procrastinate any further. I have to do something. I have to do outreach. And once I sent my first outreach message, I thought it wasn't that scary anymore. Deadass. After that, I would compete with people inside of the community to send 30 to 50 looms every single day. And within the next 2 months of being inside of the program, I got my first client. So, or maybe it wasn't 2 months, but yeah, that's it. So you just have to do the work. And I went from being a cashier at 2K per month to being someone that actually helps clients, and I actually made my first 10K from at around November or December of 2023. So that's 6 months into my entrepreneurship journey, and I made my first 10K per month, which is crazy because I didn't even think that I would make a lot of money. At that point of time, I saw that as a lot of money. I wouldn't be able to help the community at all. I wouldn't be able to give so many people advice or value inside of the community. I wouldn't even think that I would be traveling to the US. I live in Singapore, and traveling to the US is a 16 to 20 hour flight. And I wouldn't even think that I would step foot into the US. But I did. And my life changed within an entire year after investing that 2K and also doing the work that they told me to do and stop being a pussy. So that's it. There's no crazy secret that all these gurus are actually giving you. I'm just giving you my honest lessons and mistakes that I learned. And that 2K program didn't have some magical secret that the 12K per month program had, right? The information wasn't too much of a difference between the 2K and the 12K program. It was actually when I showed up that made a difference. And I took action. I took massive fucking action that got me to where I am today. And I'm not telling you that it's all about the actions, because it's your identity first. Because you have to change your beliefs, you have to change your identity so that you can become someone that actually takes action, right? Because motivation doesn't go a long way. You have to become the person first before you can even take any action at all. So it's about me showing up that matter, hopping on the group calls, asking a lot of questions, being curious, taking action, doing outreach. That got me to where I am today. That got me from 2K per month as a cashier to landing massive clients, helping my clients to go from 20K to 60K, go from 0 to 15K, go from 80K to 250K. And I just realized this, not recently, but I realized this thing. So knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is power. So when you actually apply the knowledge that you have, and you just think of it as trial and error, right? Because there's no failure in life. The failure in life is only when you give up, right? So if you give up, that means you gave up on yourself and you lose respect for yourself, right? But if you keep showing up, if you keep taking action and you apply the knowledge that you have, you will go a very long way. And you'll just beat 90% of the people that don't actually know the knowledge that you have, and also don't apply the knowledge that you have. So it's not about having more knowledge. It's about applying the knowledge that you actually have. So I want to recap on the 3 lessons that I learned, which is expensive doesn't mean better, right? The more expensive the program doesn't mean it will be better for you. Watch out for the people that actually sell you templates or SOPs, or actually just give you, or watch out for the people who actually care about your success and don't care about your success. And you see that through the content. It's very, very straightforward, right? From the content that they put out in terms of value or lifestyle. So it's just, and the testimonials that they give. It's very transparent. You can tell it very easily. And the third thing is about actually implementing the advice you have from the courses, the mentorships, and all of that, instead of just consuming and not actually taking action on anything. So if this video helped you, I really hope you can take some value out of this, and you can just DM me. Link is in the description. You can DM me on IG and you can talk to me more about it. But stick to one thing. Don't just trust any guru out there. Just be more careful in terms of who you invest your money into, not just about the information that you get or the community and all of that stuff. Really just be careful in where you put your money at, because it's a lot of money. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't invest in anyone. You should definitely get a mentor. You should definitely invest into coaching of some sort, but make sure you really do your due diligence on who you invest your money to. And if you wish to share with me anything in the comments, just let me know. So take massive action, change your identity, and really use whatever knowledge that you have, because it will go a very long way. All right. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.